my Navy, and I became a medic, hospital corpsman. I was very proud. Instant doctorship. That's what it is. In 6 weeks, you can operate on people, give them needles, kill them, that kind of thing. And pronounce people dead. You're dead. Thanks a lot. Get out of here. And I never forget, when I graduated from hospital corps school, an order came through sending me to the Fleet Marine Force. And this reason, I am going to be a medic. I was very proud of it because I know that I read the Geneva Convention, and it's small print and everything. It says, in the Geneva Convention, you cannot shoot a medic. And they're very happy about the whole thing. They give you anatomy in 1 day. Here's the body. Look at it. Remember it. All right. Next job. That kind of thing. And so they give you a helmet with a big red cross on it, see? And then they give you a jersey with a big red cross on it. This is so when the enemy sees the red cross, see, they don't shoot at you. See, they just there's a guy with a red cross, don't hit him. In times of war, they do that, see. Don't throw that hand grenade over there. There's a guy with a red cross. What's wrong with you? That kind of thing. See, well, they do that, see, don't they? No, they're nice about it. So we're really proud of that. We can't get shot down. That's wonderful. So then they show us the real movie as we're about to go to war, just before we land. Yes, I want to show you this picture here. You'll notice that the corpsmen are dropping like flies. That's because the enemy is not upholding the Geneva Convention, and they said the first thing they try and get actually is the hospital corpsman, and actually the lifespan of a hospital corpsman from the time his foot hits the water to the time he almost gets to the beach is 7 seconds. And the corpsmen are scrambling after that. Give me some steel wool. Get this red cross off of here. Anybody want to buy a helmet with a red cross on it, for a gun? How about some morphine? Take this helmet for some morphine. So I was aware of this, I was really frightened, and I said, gee whiz, I hope they don't get me, And I run, they let down the thing, bang. First thing I did, man, was scurry to the beach, jump in the foxhole, hey, I'm not moving. I'm sorry, I'm not moving. 5 guys with me, and we're having fun. We're watching the war, Nice war going on, yeah. Somebody's running fireworks. Oh, look, a ship in the air, that kind of thing. And an explosion went off about 100 feet away. And a piece of shrapnel caught one of the guys, and zonked him right out. And gone, And there's a guy next to zonk means dead. And there's a guy next to me, typical movie nut. I didn't even know they were real. I thought they were just in the movie, Why? They got Johnny! Shut up. Be quiet, man. Watch the war. No, they got Johnny and I'm going to get him. You're not going to do nothing. Get out of the foxhole and shut up. I'm going to get him. Will you get him? And he broke loose. And he runs nowhere but right out into the open, man. He's scurrying around. Well, you're riding, And these guys, the enemy's hiding up in the trees having fun. Anybody want this nut scurrying around out here in the open there, And the first thing they do is and they cut him down. First thing this guy says is, medic! I said, what do you want? My leg! I don't make house calls. Take 2 aspirin, mail in the fire load. No, it's a true story. Just to prove that people are weird, I went out and I bought a rhinoceros. And I put him in my apartment, and I dug a hole and everything for him. And, I'd refuse to hang my hat on his horn, that kind of thing. And just to prove to you, some people are weird enough that they'll pretend that a rhinoceros in the living room doesn't excite them. Now, you get people like the guy who walk by and say, oh my, you have a rhinoceros, huh? We used to have a rhinoceros. Take the rhinoceros for a walk, and some drunk always gets at me. Oh boy, that's a weird looking dog you got there. Does he bite? Nobody will ram the hell out of you. Half man, half animal. Wolf man, right? And here's a guy that I sympathize with because he can never remember his rhythm pattern. He's walking around as a normal human being, then the moon comes up on it. Now, a guy like that has got to be embarrassing to his family. You know, he's sitting around eating dinner and the moon comes up. So, oh, Papa, you going out in the yard someplace like that? How about if he's getting a haircut, man, as a normal human being, right? Barber's giving him a haircut, and the moon comes up. Oh, hey, this is going to cost you an extra $8. Well, make it light around the legs, will you, please? Speaking of death, I was thinking now, they had a problem, Elaine May and Mike Nichols did a bit on funerals and how expensive funerals are. And I was thinking, you know, it's kind of weird that people should complain about the price of funerals, because it's your last thing anyway. You want to splurge, you want a beautiful funeral. I do, everybody does, you know. And I was thinking, like, it would be great. The silly thing, really, about a funeral is the fact that people go in and they see you in the casket, stoned away, you know, nothing but a rigor mortis face there, you know, and they look at you and they come out and they say, didn't he look like himself? Which is sickening, you know, because like if you put yourself in bed like that and you really set up, you know, lie down in the bed like that, people would see this, he's dead. They wouldn't say, doesn't he look like himself? No, you know, people say, I thought you were dead. No, I was just sleeping like that. Well, don't sleep like that anymore, because you look like you were dead. So, I was thinking now, for the people that always feel, didn't he look like himself? For $50, an extra 100 or something like that, what you ought to do is hook up a tape recorder, you know, and play it, so you can talk to them as they go by. You know, hi, how have you been? Don't I look like myself? Aren't I wonderful? It's good to see you. You know, just keep it running like that. For those people, you know. And maybe for an extra $200, you name names, you know. Hi, Bob. How's the wife and kids? You certainly do look great. Don't I look like myself? I'm sick, but it serves a purpose, you know. Because I can't stand, you know, so how do you look? You look dead, I'll tell you the truth. You really look dead. But when I was in the, like I said, in the Navy, I was on this ship, and the thing that really caught my attention was a burial at sea, and it seemed like a cheap thing to do, because I didn't understand it. They put the flag over the body, see, and they marched the guy out, and they put it on the edge, and then they, you know, the chaplain or whoever's gobby, and then they, you know, and they dumped the body into the water. Well, the flag stays. I thought the flag was supposed to go with the guy, you know, and it must be embarrassing to a guy that dies, you know. That's a cheap thing to do to me, you know, put a flag over your promise him he's going to sea with the flag, and then, boom, now for my next magical trick. So what I did was, one of the guys died at sea, and as Rigor Mortis was sitting in, we clamped his hands around the flag, you know. And the guy went up, let go of the goddamn flag. He wants to go with his flag. He loves it, you know. No, that's the truth. The Neanderthal man. Now, let's think back. Now, today we know what to eat. You go into a restaurant or you go into your home and you say, what's for dinner? Let's have spaghetti. Let's have steak. Let's have some meat, you know. Now, a caveman couldn't say that because he didn't know anything about eating meat. He didn't know anything. He was just out there, you know, just right out there. Hey, I'm a caveman, and I'm out here. You know, that kind of thing. And the rain would come down. You know what rain was. Oh, what is that? Running high, you know, that kind of thing. So that's all right. It's soft. Feel it. Oh, yes. Isn't it wonderful? You know, and then a hailstorm would come down and fool them all. You know, oh, hey, that hurts. You know, hard water. You know, that kind of thing. So I figured the only thing that they knew how to eat, you know, like the bushes were there for them. So they just eat bushes every day, bushes. And they must have gotten tired of bushes, you know. I guess, oh, this is rotten meat. Bushes. That's the worst bush I've ever had in my life. See, don't eat that bush because you'll get a rash from it. It'll make you break right out. It's terrible, you know. Get the bush and, you know, boy. You know, the guy would go home from a hard day's work or doing something, you know, and he said, what's for dinner? Bushes. Oh, boy. I'll die first. I'd rather die than eat bushes. You know? So then they had to go out and get something else. So some guy says, hey, why don't we try meat? And the guy says, okay. So then that's when they went out. But now they must have made a couple of mistakes. See, they must have attacked the wrong animals. So we see, basking away in the sun, two saber-toothed tigers. And one tiger talks to the other. Hey, Arnold. Yeah? Don't look now. But over your right shoulder, there's a Neanderthal man sneaking up behind us. And he's got a stick in his hand. And he's gonna hit one of us. Say what? That's the same nut that hit me behind the ear with a rock and run like hell yesterday. You know, they killed Ralphie yesterday. Ralphie? Who's Ralphie? You know Ralphie, that weird saber-toothed tiger, lives over the hill. He only has one saber, and he growls with a lisp. Says, "Arf!" They killed him yesterday. Oh, that's terrible. Yep. Then they cut his fur off and they threw him in the fire. Oh, that's horrible. Yeah, and then they drug him out of the fire and they ate him. What a bunch of savages. I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's get up and start growling and making a whole bunch of noise. All right? What's he doing now? He's eating bushes. That's right. The first time ever televised, we ever had a game that was televised. We played against a school called Hofstra. The athletic director came into the locker room and he says, "Now listen, fellas," he says, "you guys are on television," he says, "and this is the first time for you." He said, "I am not really concerned with winning as I am with the fact that you guys are on television and there are certain areas of your body that you shouldn't touch because it's embarrassing to the people watching TV." So the guy says, "Yeah, okay, we know what you're talking about." So he made us sign an affidavit promising that we would not touch certain areas of our body, you know. So we ran out on the field. I don't know why it happened to me. First time I carried the ball, I went up to this hole, and I saw the guy on the ground, he's a defensive man. He was down, and I started to step over him, and just as I raised the left leg, he came up and really hit me. Wacko! You know, in the worst place. And I said, "Oh!" And I started to grab him. "You better not touch any area of your life." So I grabbed my head. And I went into the huddle, guys. "What's the matter?" And to make it look good, they bandaged up my head. That's the truth. That's the truth. I want to tell you about Seattle, Washington, and I'm going. Seattle, Washington is a city. As far as the weather's concerned, they're a little backwards. Now, in Seattle, they have rain at least 365 days of the year. So therefore, they don't know anything about the sun. As a matter of fact, they think that the sun is evil. You know, when the sun comes up, what did we do? Is our town dead? You know, what have we done? You know, they go out and they cut a calf, you know, and put them up on a rock. You know, that kind of thing. But, no, that's the truth, and you can see them out there. They don't know the difference. You know, they're out there on the beach when it's raining, getting a rain tan. You know, they're out there, and they think the more wrinkled the body, the better you look. You know, really. So you look like a Bruin. Thanks a lot. I appreciate that. You know, and you ask anybody from Seattle, "Do you like the sun?" "No." "Why?" "Dries up the sinuses. That's why. You know, can't breathe." Got little girl slits on their raincoats, you know, stuff like that. And in Seattle, they had this gorilla. And his name is Bobo. And the veterinarians have been going mad trying to get Bobo to mate. This is the truth. Bobo is about 54 years old now. And it's costing the zoo an awful lot of money because he's the only gorilla that they have, and they want to get another one. So the way to do it is, you know, to call up a zoo, for them to send up a female gorilla, and then they mate, and then they get a little gorilla, and then you do that twice, and you get a gorilla, and then the old gorilla can die off if he wants to, you know, which is less expensive than hiring Clyde Beatty to go out there and get you one, you know. So, and more fun for the gorilla too, you know. But Bobo knows nothing about mating. You know, he just sits there. And you know, the vet keeps saying, "Come on, Bobo, pretty soon you'll be too old." You know, he's gone. And so he just... And as a matter of prestige, too, other zoos keep calling up, and they know about Bobo, and they keep making fun of him. You know, it's nah, 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 your gorilla don't know nothing, you know, that kind of thing. But the guys from the Philadelphia Zoo were very nice about the whole thing. They closed up their zoo, and they sent up their best-looking female gorillas. And she went into the cage with Bobo, and she was looking good, too. She had long black stockings on, you know, and some heavy eye makeup. And they gave her a girdle with hair on it, you know, and she was looking very shapely. She went into the cage and boom, 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 boom. And he did nothing. He was just, And, of course, she stormed out of there. Well, this left the vets to try different methods. And one guy thought he had a good thing going. He went in and he read him dirty stories. And that didn't work, even the parts underlined. And then another guy went in and he showed him some gorilla stag movies. You know, where the gorillas have black tape across their eyes so you can't tell who they are and nothing like that. And he walked down the middle of the stag movie, and the last method they tried was they took some darts and they dipped them into this special gland secreting stuff that they got from an old sailor. There's a box marked Tijuana COD, you know. And they took the darts and they threw them and hit him in the back. And the darts did nothing to him. He just pulled away and pulled them out and he threw them away, and they hit a hippo. And the hippo went wild. I mean, everything. Birds, trees, grasses, garbage cans. He was all over the place there. As a matter of fact, they have some of the weirdest looking animals out in that zoo now. They have a giraffe with a hippo's head and his neck can't hold the head up. You know, it keeps going down on the ground. That's a true story. You don't believe it.